Hi, my name is Brian Mahon, founder of Igloo Insurance, where we offer transparent risk advice to business owners and families. Today, we're discussing all the life insurance riders, endorsements, or add ons that can make your life insurance policy the most powerful and flexible it can be. We'll discuss riders like the waiver of premium rider, guaranteed insurability rider, purchase option rider with long term care, accelerated death benefit, and then give you tips and tricks for your paramed exam and a smooth underwriting process. So, what are riders? Really, they're optional add ons or sometimes included features that customize your life insurance policy to fit your needs. You might hear them referred to as endorsements or add ons or riders. Those are all synonyms, but basically coverage enhancements. First one that we'll discuss is a waiver of premium rider in your life insurance. And really, this is if you become totally disabled and you can't work for a specific period, the insurance carrier will waive your premium payments. You don't have to pay. So your coverage stays active for life insurance with no lapse and no stress. But here's why it matters. What most people don't realize is the likelihood of becoming disabled during your working years is far higher than the likelihood of dying early. According to Social Security data, a 20-year-old worker has about a 1 in 4 chance of becoming disabled before retirement, while the chance of dying before the age of 65 is roughly 1 in 10. So that means this rider isn't just a nice to have, it's critical protection for your family and your financial plan. The second life insurance rider you should consider is guaranteed insurability rider. This rider lets you buy more coverage later without a medical exam, even if your health changes. So often carriers give you purchase intervals at ages of, say, 25, 28, 31, 34, 37, 40, 43, and 46, and you can add up to $255,000 of coverage each age interval or each time with a lifetime cap of $1 million. So that means you could buy a $1 million term insurance policy in your 20s, and before you hit your 50s, you could buy that up all the way up to $2 million without any new medical underwriting or questions asked. So most carriers don't really offer this flexibility, but we work with Erie Insurance that happens to do this all the time. Next, life insurance rider you can consider is the purchase option rider. So that is the ability to convert your term policy to a permanent or whole life policy. This typically lets you add a long-term care accelerated death benefit rider without new underwriting. So without this rider, adding long-term care later in your life would require additional medical approval. A lot of carriers can get this included automatically now, like Erie. So most Americans have pretty poor health in their 50s and 60s, so it's very important in your 20s, 30s, maybe even your early 40s to get this long-term care coverage embedded within your life insurance. If you need it down the road, you're not penalized for your health in your old age. So the long-term care rider is really, again, an optional rider to a whole life or permanent life policy that accelerates death benefits to pay for care when you can't perform at least 2 daily living activities independently. What's interesting is most carriers require 3 ADLs or daily living activities. Erie only requires 2. So what the heck are ADLs? Things like bathing, showering, dressing, feeding, toileting, cooking, and cleaning, basically being able to take care of yourself in your old age. So if you can't do 2 of those things, you can get your life insurance policy benefits early while you're living to, pay for hospice or long-term care or assisted nursing facilities, things like that. So why this matters, really, this helps cover costs for home care, assisted living, or hospice without needing a separate long-term care policy down the road when it's going to cost much more. So this accelerated death benefit rider, the last rider you should really consider. This one's pretty straightforward. If you're diagnosed with a terminal illness, you can access part of your death benefit early to cover medical expenses. Think like, stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma, cancer or something like that, or, a brain tumor. Your life insurance policy can be accessed in that circumstance with an accelerated death benefit rider. Jumping back to how long-term care benefits are paid, this is very important when you're buying life insurance where you could potentially convert to have long-term care coverage under whole life insurance. There's basically 2 methods, the reimbursement method and the indemnity or upfront method. So a reimbursement method requires receipts. Basically, you pay for your hospice care, your nursing care out of pocket, and then you submit itemized receipts and documentation, and the insurance company reimburses you up to the daily or monthly maximum. So that's pretty standard with long-term care policies or reimbursement riders. What's better is the indemnity or upfront version. There's no It's required. Basically, your licensed health professional certifies that you can't perform at least 2 active daily living items like showering, bathing, cooking, or you have severe cognitive impairment, then the benefits are triggered. Insurer pays a fixed monthly amount, and you can use that money for any purpose: care costs, home modifications, family support. It's much more flexible. So what's great with Erie Insurance is they use this indemnity method, giving you more simplicity and flexibility if you do need those policy benefits early. So how to get life insurance from an underwriter in a smooth fashion and have a good passing paramedical exam. First of all, these paramed exams are short health screenings performed by a licensed medical professional, usually at your home or maybe at an office, but they will gather your height, your weight, your blood pressure, your pulse, do a urine sample and a blood draw, and a series of medical history questions. If you're older or you're asking for a lot high coverage limits, they may require an EKG. Really par for the course if you're getting million or more in term life insurance. But what are the best practices getting ready for this paramed exam? Right, you want to hydrate well the day before, the morning of your exam. Avoid caffeine and alcohol and nicotine for at least 12 hours prior. That could affect your blood pressure and lab results. Fast for 8 to 12 hours before your appointment if blood work is required, usually for insurance purposes, right? You want to get a good night's sleep. Stress and fatigue can elevate your blood pressure. Maybe wear short sleeves for easy blood draw access, and have your medications and doctor's information and medical history ready for that exam. And try to schedule that exam early in the day when you're rested and hydrated for their most accurate readings. And the more flexible you can be in booking that appointment, the faster you can typically get your life insurance issued. So why this matters? You're going to fall into an underwriting class. Could be ultra select, super select, or select, smoker, non-smoker rates. The life insurance premiums or prices you pay can change based on these results. So better results mean lower premiums, and poor preparation could cost you thousands over the life of your policy. So if you're ready to talk about life insurance, reach out to us today here at Igloo Insurance, where we offer transparent risk advice to business owners and families. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much.